here with me.
Look out, I'm back!
The explosions, the implosions, the gunshots and hot shots. From rockets to sprockets, Rumble League is going to rock your world.
Welcome everybody, this is the Rumble League Draft Show. We've got plenty of content to show you guys here today. My name is GameCube, or otherwise known as the Fatal 5-Way. We've got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys today, especially about this brand new game, Rumble League. It's absolutely beautiful. You can download it right now on the Apple Play Store as well as the regular Google Play Store, you know, if you're an Android fan as well. But most importantly, we've got a great set of panelists here today to give you just a little bit of a taste of what we have in store for today. So let's introduce them. It's gonna be Aaron Contra, it's Varkas, and most importantly, we have a developer coming all the way here to Malaysia to talk about the game. It's Deborah.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, how's it going, guys?
Oh, it's going great. We're just chilling here right now. How was the travel for all the way there to here?
Actually, I was really lucky. I got on the plane, and it was quite an empty flight. And so there was this one girl sitting on the edge, and she was like, you know what? There's a ton of empty rows, so I'm just going to leave you alone. You can stretch out. So I literally had dinner, watched a movie, and then stretched out. And then when I woke up, we were there, so it was like the best 14-hour flight ever.
Wow, that sounds like the most comfortable trip overall. And I'm glad you guys are here today because we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, it's a beautiful game made by S.E.A. Let's talk a little about the company who made the game.
Sure. So S.E.A. we were founded in 2012. We've got about 115 or so people working with us now. Yes, I know. Hailing from 30 different nationalities, so we're really international, which is quite cool. We've got 4 live titles to date.
Oh yes, I actually wanted to talk about them. So for you guys, if you don't know what S.E.A. is, you probably heard some of their really great titles that have come up. We've got Fastlane, Transformers Earth Wars, Rival Kingdom, Samurai Siege. These are the same developer, so if you're a fan of this, all of these games, Rumble League, it's the next best thing that's going to be coming out. Or
that's great. Well, yeah, we think so. But yeah, so we've got 4 live titles, but we've got like another 6 or 7 in development.
Wow, that's a lot of games coming out.
Which is a lot. And I mean, we're quite a small studio, but the way we sort of manage, I guess, to cover such diverse genres, etc., is we actually work in really small teams, and so. Which maybe a lot of other companies don't do. We actually give a lot of power and autonomy to those teams. So they all work on the titles that they feel passionate about. So it's up to them whether they want to make a game, how they want to make it, and then also if they want to kill a game as well. So there's a lot of...
Oh, I think that's a really tough decision to actually kill off a game.
Yeah, it's really important though, because then, you know, it's sort of creating an environment where people can take chances and then not be afraid to fail and then learn and then try again. And so that's sort of
oh my goodness, this
was
like the childhood like I never got. Like I never got to explore like this much and be able to fail and not have to worry about it. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, you still worry about failing, but you know.
That's also true. Ooh, boy, do I know that. But overall, it looks like S.E.A. is doing a really great job. Considering that I've seen a couple of these titles myself, and I'm a bit of a fan of Fastlane.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. I was highly addicted to it. Okay, let's just put it at that. So I'm excited to talk a little bit more about Rumble League. How did this come about? Like when did this idea was like Rumble League?
Yeah, it was just like that. Yeah, just made it yesterday.
Yesterday? I'm pretty sure it's not yesterday.
Today we're in Asia. No. So it actually was born originally, I think, out of a game jam like 3 years ago. And that's where the seed of the idea was born. And then obviously it's been iterated upon over the last 3 years or so, and it's developed. But the vision for the game was always quite clear. Like we always knew the type of game that we wanted to make.
And what was this supposed to represent? What do they want to really show with Rumble League? How's it different from the competitors out there?
I think it's quite unique actually, because sure you have like your MOBAs and your battle royales, but this kind of sits somewhere in between those. It is an online or a multiplayer arena game, but we've got like a diverse cast of superstars. There's 12 in the game right now. We will end up releasing more. They all have different abilities. You've got like your auto for some of them if they're close range, and then your tap and your ultimate as well. and they all come from different parts of the world, so there's a lot of diversity in there as well.
And actually, we got to thank you guys because you actually gave us a little bit of a, well, I wouldn't want to say a sneak peek because everybody had access to it, but you gave us a little bit of a buffer to kind of explore what the game was. And I think, Varkas, you were actually remaining the tank roles.
I explored a lot of these roles, and then Tiger Varma was like the first thing I saw. I was like, this guy is someone I want to play so much. But then I explored more of the tank roles, all the supports and the tanks. I gotta say, I love Rose a lot. It's really situational.
Yeah.
It gets really fun, but then again, it tells you like, you know, if you miss, you miss.
I was about to say, how good are you with the lasso? Like, are you quite good at that?
It is
like the most
so
frustrating thing.
fun. It is frustrating, but when you land it, it's like.
But when you land it,
oh my god, you won't feel more success than anything than playing an Arashi in the field. It's so fun.
Especially if you're playing on like the temple map, you know, with the
yes. Oh my god, it's so much excitement there. I gotta say, there's so much roles, there's so many things to do with all these superstars coming. I kind of look forward to what are the other superstars you plan to bring in. That's gonna be really fun.
Yes, I can't say yet, but they are coming. They will come, definitely, yeah.
I'm a little disappointed now. I was hoping to be like, do we get some
sneak peeks? The sneak peeks. No, but we're also looking at adding a lot more social features into the game, and because there are, you know, it's a game with quite short session lengths, and so it really appeals, I mean, we think, to both the core and the casual gamer, because there is that depth there as well if you want it. And we also want to make sure that we're creating a path to pro for this title.
A path to pro, you say? So this is going to be the title that you're going to be bringing esports in for this particular title.
I think we want to be able to cater to as wide an audience as possible. So it is that game that you can just pick up and play for a few minutes. Like sessions are about 3 to 5 minutes each. The barrier to entry is quite low, but like I said, like that skill gap is quite high.
It's so high.
I totally agree with that. There's so much diversity, and you got to upgrade all these perks and get all these tiers up. So you really have to spam a whole lot of games to grind it. And there's so many different sort of pool of superstars to actually choose from. And I guess like I've been playing a lot of Dominic myself. Been trying out Arashi. Some games it works for me. Some games it doesn't. So I think like it must have taken a whole long time for the game devs from S.E.A. to actually balance everything up. So
definitely, and that's always like an ongoing process as well, for sure. And Dominic was actually our very first character, so he has
wow.
Glad
to be maining it.
I think now we see why.
He has a really special place in my heart. Yeah, Dominic was our very first.
I just feel like somebody in the development team, like it really touched their hearts to like create Dominic, this special character. Does somebody in the development team have a tattoo yet? Of Rumble League, anything related, come on, you can let us know.
We don't have tattoos yet. We did have one guy actually shave the S.E.A. logo into his head.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. That's dedication.
It was on a dare. But actually all the voices that you hear in the game, originally they were just sort of placeholder voices for all the characters. They're all people from the company that we had do them. But then we actually like, oh, this is quite cool. Let's leave those voices in.
Wait, so it's all in-house, everything?
All in-house.
Hold up.
The whole game is in-house made, which is cool.
No wonder. I mean, it feels really, really unique. You can even see on the screen here on the left here, you can, a little bit of the game, what they have to offer. And I mean, cosmetics. Let's get into cosmetics here because it's the one thing people want to see. I want to feel unique. I want to show everybody that I'm better than them without actually showing that I'm better than them.
Exactly.
With these costumes.
Just by a look.
Exactly. It's a big statement. What are some of the plans here for a lot of these superstars? You can already see that, hey, couple of skins. Are there going to be more?
Yeah, so we're definitely planning more customization, more skins. There's a couple characters in the game as well, a couple of the female characters that are still missing some skins as well, so we're going to build those out.
I believe, if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. And Flux as well, so those will still be coming. But yeah, our artists have just like crazy ideas, so it's really cool to see what they come up with all the time.
I think as of right now, considering how much of the game has come out, I think they've crushed it. It looks great. It feels like it's almost there. Do you consider this like a complete game?
So I think, like you said, we're almost there. So we've soft launched in Southeast Asia, and I say soft launch because we haven't set a release date for worldwide release yet. So you guys are the first. There's a couple countries in the EU that are also have access, and some sort of a unique group of influencers and select community members. But really, it's just Southeast Asia that we've focused on for now, and it's such a great territory for us as well because you guys like really understand and love mobile games. So it's
yes, we do. We play all day, all night. Like,
So it's been a really great experience to see the reception as well. Yeah.
I mean, you heard it here first. It's been soft launch here in Southeast Asia. You guys have access to it. We are the first to really experience the game, other than the testers who are back in the UK. But it feels great to be for you guys. Thank you for choosing us.
It's a big privilege.
Yeah, because we don't get a lot of stuff here at SEA, man. You know, it's like, oh, you want to get the new iPhone. It's like, it launches in America, but this time we get Rumble League. At least, you know, we'll take the wins. We'll take the wins.
No, it's been amazing, and we've had like a couple of road shows already, and we have had some other events sort of around the world, and it's been really cool to see. I think for me the best is like watching strangers come to our events, and then they get to know each other through the game, and then they leave as friends. You know, like that. I feel like that is the strength of any game, really. But I love to see that in Rumble League. It's really, really cool.
I have to ask, what is the community going to be like? What is the aim? What's the goals? What are you trying to develop here?
I think for us, like I said, I think that we want it to be able to appeal to everybody. So if you're a casual gamer, if you're a core gamer, I think what's really important to us as well is like it's not just for a certain subset of people. So for example, we've got influencers playing in the S.E.A tournament, which BJ will talk about as well. But we wanted to make sure that those guys are also playing with real players from the game, like regular people. I think we just want people to know like this game is for everybody, you know? It doesn't
for everybody.
It's for everybody. Yeah, it's for like getting together with your friends and having a great time. Like if you love the game, then there's a future for you with it.
I see, but I gotta ask. I have to ask here. Now, girls, they want to get into this game. They feel a little bit like, this is a little too shooty. Why should they be picking up this game and saying, hey, I'm just as good as everybody else here?
Well, that's why, because they can be just as good as everybody.
You basically answered your own question, right?
I thought there was going to be something a little bit more unique, you know.
No,
hopefully.
but at the same time, if you look at the cast of characters as well, I mean, there's large female representation there. In our office, like all the girls play. I know we had like an all-girl team as well when we play in the office, and as we have tournaments
there's like
and stuff.
office tournaments already.
Yeah.
So. That's great. So what's the prize for you guys?
What's the wager you guys
so
put
far,
on?
I'm like just bragging rights, I think, which is like the most important thing anyway, right? It's
Absolutely. When you're in a closed area, bragging rights is the way to go. But let's talk about something a little bit more important here, because you've seen the title. You're probably wondering, we want to talk about C-Slam, all right?
Yes.
You guys have come in here, you decided, hey, we're going to bring the game, but more importantly, you're also going to bring the competition.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, hardcore competitive game.
Hardcore competitive game. And it's pretty interesting, because we were looking through the format earlier. We've got a lot of familiar faces, and hopefully you guys have been kind of following. Make sure you follow them on their page itself. You can see it right. I'm looking at the screen. It's right here. Around there, I'll follow them on their Facebook Rumble League so you can get the latest updates here, and especially for C-Slam, if you are a fan of some of these personalities, let's have a look at a little bit of trailer for you guys, just to get your mouth watering.
Ooh, that's gonna be exciting.
Are you ready?
I got you. Aye.
The explosions, the implosions, the gunshots and hot shots. From rockets to sprockets, Rumble League is going to rock your world. Triple kill, rampage.
You want to be part of something, you want to join competition at its highest level, they're going to give it to you. Rumble League might just be the game for you, so download it, pick it up, try it out. And now, our panelists,
Caster/panelists.
We switched out, we've got another dev here. BJ, welcome to the couch. Tell us a little bit more about what C-Slam is all about.
Cool. So yeah, S.E.A was something we wanted to bring into the game to give people an event that's right into the game as soon as the game launched. We wanted people to be engaged and really get into something, and we wanted to give everybody an open format where they could interact with 8 influencers from Southeast Asia who we've brought on to interact with their players and everyone who's downloaded the game. And those players had a chance in a 3-week leaderboard to climb up in trophies. All they had to do was register to the game so we could get their details just in case they did qualify in the top 40. Yeah, we would reach out to them and then they can join the team of the influencers, so they get a chance to play with these influencers. And that's what we're doing here today. Is we're having a draft show where they get to select 4 of teammates and obviously 1 sub, just in case anything does occur where they don't have it. So
wow, you guys really have got like everything covered. If anyone goes on, we've got a sub. We've got the players ready. You have their details and information as well. That's just impressive.
Yeah, so we've been contacting them and making sure that they're down for the tournament, and it's all looking good so far. So yeah, they're going to be competing for $15,000, and everybody who places in the top 8 is going to get some of that prize money. So
oh my goodness, that's wow. I wasn't expecting that. Even I can see it on Aaron's face. Like you weren't expecting this much money on the table.
I mean, I don't expect that much at all, because like you guys were just talking about soft launch like moments ago, and immediately we're having like tournaments up and running and everything well prepared. So what are your expectations for the SEA Slam so far, since this is our very first one?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some crazy participation from players. I believe there was one player in the top 40 who had over 1,400 games. Looking at those.
Oh yeah.
Looking at those.
100.
I've seen that. He hasn't even reached the highest rank at all in the game yet, and that's a huge amount put in already to the game.
Yeah, with those 3-minute sessions, I think it worked out something like 6 hours a day of him just playing constantly during the whole 3-week season. So it was pretty crazy. So
it's like a full-time job already.
Yeah. And some of those players are boasting really high win rates and doing really well in the game. So yeah, it's exciting to see what these players are doing.
Okay, wow. All right, so we've got this competition. Let's talk a little bit about the format. Let's see how we're going to break this down for you guys so it's nice and digestible. You understand what's going on. We've got 4 countries going to be playing here. Can you explain a little bit more about how you guys decided to format this?
Oh, yeah. So the format we wanted to go with was we're going to spread it out over 3 weeks. And in these 3 weeks, we're going to take these 8 influencers. They're going to be picking their teammates today in the draft show. And then for the actual draft league itself, we're going to be having a 2-week, it's going to be held over 3 weeks, but the first 2 weeks are going to be for seeding. So in week 1, we'll have 4 teams going against each other, and that'll be a best of 1. And it's really important that you get that first or second seeding, because when we go into the second week, you have to do the seeding once more, and then in the 3rd week, that's when we'll be going into the grand finals, where players will be playing best of 3s, a best of 5s, and then best of 7 matches. And if you are in that 1st and 2nd seed, then you're going to have a chance at a double elimination. But if you're in that 3rd and 4th seed, you're only going to have one match. And if you lose, you're going to be out. So really important to get that 1st or 2nd seeding.
Wow. Oh my goodness. You guys have come in with a soft launch, and you are already prepared to bring an A-game competition to the table for our viewers out there. My goodness. I wasn't ready for this. I was expecting just a casual tournament. No, this is dead serious.
It's full-fledged. Like, look at all the tournament formats where we have best of 3s, best of 5s, best of 7 for the grand finals. I think this is great that there's fair chances for all the top gunners out there, all these superstars that will be playing. And we've already got our influencers on the line. So we've seen nations from Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, Indonesia joining in. So I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of representation. I'm excited to see how these teams actually kind of want to go around. I want to talk about, I've heard, little whispers here and there, the road show. So what do people do if they don't really, they're not on the top levels? What do they do?
Yeah, so we've been holding road shows over the course of 4 weeks. We went to Campus Game Fest, and then we also had one in JB just in this past weekend. We have one coming up in My Town Mall here in Kuala Lumpur. And then we also have one in Paradigm, I believe, coming up as well.
Ooh, Paradigm. It's actually a really nice place for any events. I've been there many times. That's definitely going to be something I want to look forward to.
I have to ask, do we get one of those shirts? I saw Deborah wearing one, and now you're wearing one. It's like, man,
I'll suss you out. I'll suss you out. Don't worry. We'll
all right.
All right.
What about viewers out there? If they come to the roadshow, how do they benefit?
Yeah, so if you guys come to the malls with us, we'll be giving away swag to you guys. We'll be giving away these T-shirts as well. You guys can get some in-game currency, and then we'll
be there. We'll be there.
Hosting some tournaments where you guys can win some gift cards as well and other merchandise. But that'll be fun. You can come talk to us. We'll tell you all about the game. We want to see you there, so be sure to come join us.
Oh my goodness, that's super exciting. You guys not only are trying to include everyone, you really are living up to that standard that, like Deborah said, high level competition. But if you still want to join, we've got something for you.
Of course, yeah.
I absolutely
something
love
for the casual and the core, of course. Yeah.
Oh, you guys really got it on lock. I don't know. I haven't heard a company that has completely covered this much ground in so little time. It's actually impressive. So really, hats off that
Cheers,
one.
Gideon. Cheers. I appreciate it, man.
I say it's really impressive to see how in just that short time you said a lot of this done. the competitive plays you're putting out, the amount of casual gameplays that are in, and I think we heard a little bit of how the improvement for socials are going to be on the app. That's going to be something I want to look forward to. You know, now we have like every end game, you have that little hand emote.
The
there.
emoji.
Oh, yeah.
That emote is just hilarious. It just flies all over the MVP on the end screen. It's just fun. What are the other sort of things we can look forward to apart from just that?
Yeah, so obviously everything's tentative when I speak about this stuff, but we're also looking at guilds and building out your teams and everything like that.
Oh, guilds.
Yeah, you definitely want to get that. So I'm
Guilds.
sure you'll see more things around that. Definitely possibilities of like your teams having rankings and stuff like that, and
pretty cool.
just a lot more social features, a lot more emotes, a lot more ways to rub the salt on everybody,
my.
you know. So yeah, stuff like that will be coming up in the future.
All right, and now we've talked about a lot of these in-game, in-depth things for newer players onto the stream. What is Rumble League all about? What is Rumble League? Who are these people?
They're just diverse characters from all different backgrounds coming in and playing together and interacting. Yeah, fun characters.
Really, really fun characters, and not to mention that there's also multiple modes. I saw I was watching the little monitor on the side there that you have actually multiple game modes for pretty much however people want to play, the different objectives and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have a payload map. We also have control points, which is really popular. As you can see, we have the grid here, which is one of our control point maps, and we also have team deathmatch on this map. On some of the other maps, we also have a battle royale that won't be in the C-Slam match, but that's available to you guys outside of the competitive mode as well. And then we also have Paris, and then we have the beach map, which is really fun. That's where the battle royale is, and then we have Seaside Tropics here, which is the control zone. You'll see this one a lot during that, and then we have Metropolitan here, which is push the point.
Oh yeah, this is the
Yeah,
push the payload, the one with the car.
Where
Oh,
is Metropolitan
Temple.
set in? That's what I'm curious, because all these different locations, like, is there any kind of inspiration behind it? Is this like I saw Neo Paris, like,
Of course, there's inspiration behind them, so you can use your imagination as to where Metropolitan is, and then
interesting.
yeah, where
I like
Temple
that.
is as well. So
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Like, in the soft launch, we already have quite a number of maps. Like, are there a lot more up in the plannings, or you're just gonna
yeah, definitely. We're
wait
going to be
till
looking to
you know
add more
every-
add more modes. We've done a bunch of exploration on mode types, and that's something that the team is going to look forward to in the future. More maps, more modes, and just keeping the game fresh for players. Obviously, the balancing changes that Devs was talking about, that'll be an ongoing thing, just to switch things up in the meta and keep things interesting for players. So.
I've got a wait. Let me just look around the room. Okay, Deborah is in here, guys. Let's keep it between us. Can you give us like any little exclusive information about maybe a new superstar or anything you can? Come on, just a little bit, just a little tidbit.
It's not confirmed, but I don't. This is not 100%, but I know there was a boxing inspiration character that was in the works, but I don't know if that one's coming out for sure. But yeah, I know that one was in development. I was really a big fan of it, and Alex, who's actually the designer on the game, was talking about that character. He had some really cool ultimate ability where you would kick the character and he would go through, but this isn't a confirmed character.
Okay,
Not a
all
confirmed
right.
character, but
We'll hold our opinions for now, but I'm actually really excited for like new superstars already. We've seen like the beautiful cast, a lot of great representation, a lot of really interesting designs as well. But I want to touch on the balance, in particular balancing, because there's a particular mechanic where you have to look at the different perks. How do they build into each other? Are things going to change from there, or is this like solid? These guys, that's how it's going to be built. These are the perks. Nothing's going to change.
Definitely, we'll be looking at the perks and making sure that the way people are picking their perks and the statistics on that, and who's picking their favorite perks. If like we see something that's a little bit imbalanced, we'll look at that, and we'll have some stats for you guys today on the perks that are being picked by people, so you guys can have an idea of that. I know there's a lot of speculation on the YouTube videos that we were talking about earlier on what's the best way to go, but we actually have some hard numbers for you guys that you guys can see today, and then obviously in the future those will change around, and we'll introduce different perks and other things like that. So
I'm so excited.
It'll be a dynamic game that'll keep changing and evolving. So
ooh, that's what I like to hear. I like to hear competitive games where people are like, yeah, it's always changing. We want to bring the best of the best here. I don't know, Varkas, what do you think?
I would say like there's a bunch of people that go through the meta of what characters should be picked on, but when seeing all these updates come out with all the patch notes, I've read the latest one, which I think the update's coming out later, but seeing how it always is changing, it just tells people, all right, we can't always stick to this. There's something new, we gotta adapt.
Yes,
That's
and-
what I like. It's changing. People have to adapt. You can't just stick to the same thing. So newer players won't feel like, oh, this is what it is, but I can't really do much. But then they're like, no, wait, there's so much more I can do. There's so much of things you can put into the game, which is really cool.
Yeah, we actually have an update coming out pretty soon with new balancing changes that'll come out probably tomorrow for everyone who's playing the game.
I
so
look forward to that.
during the
That's gonna
tournament,
really
it'll
fun.
be a little bit different for the players than what they played in the season. So they'll have a week to practice together to get used to the changes.
Speaking of